What is up, everybody? Today's episode, we're going to be talking about God's plan for us and how we need to stay on the right path because recently I've been on the wrong path. So, if you feel like you're in the same position right now, then make sure you stay to the end of this video and we're going to revamp and get on the right path together. All right, let's get it.
Just me and a dog. On in. Now people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's a digging it.
So, like, I'm gonna be completely honest in this episode because I even made this episode because of how I'm feeling. Um, Obviously, I'm feeling like I'm so distracted. Like, God is definitely not the number one priority in my life right now. And so this is me committing to reposition myself on this big old chalkboard of actions that I'm doing. And so I've just been like overpiling my plate so that I don't get bored. And in that effort, I've been canceling out other stuff that is more important to me than just not being bored. And I've thought about it quite a bit for now. And I've thought, I think the point is that we need some of that boredom because we need to process things. Because we are humans and we process things and we see patterns and we say, okay, I want to do this, this, and this will set me up for this, this, and this. And I've been feeling like God's not showing me the way, or, like I'll do stuff and it won't come out as successful as I want it to go. And I'm like, Lord, am I tripping or did you just like not want me to do this? Because like this is not working out. And like just like God told me once, he doesn't need to tell me twice. And so I'm looking for that second assurance. Like, is this what you want me to keep doing? That doesn't mean don't pray about it because obviously, if you feel like you're being led somewhere else, you should pray about it. But just feeling led in general, I feel like God has not been doing that. And that's all because of me. It's not because of God. And I've realized that. And I know that, like, deep down, like, I know that it's not God who is not showing himself to me. It's me not seeking after God because a relationship goes two ways. It goes God on one side and us on the other side. God's always seeking us, but whether we're always seeking God or not is the real question. And so if you feel like God hasn't been there for you and you feel like he's not giving you the path or not telling you where to go, and you just feel like you're walking in the dark, you're not alone because I feel that way sometimes. Actually, a lot of time. I'm feeling that way right now, except for the fact that now I'm thinking about it and I'm putting it into words and realizing that I need to do something. And so if you're that person, then join me in this revamp because like I'm lacking, I'm being a bum, and I just need to get back on track. So I have a couple of verses that I want to share because I had to go and search these things out. And this video is getting me to come here and think about this because if it wasn't for this video, I would just be sitting upstairs on my phone or something and not even thinking about it at all. And so I would have gone to bed and not thought about it, or I maybe would have prayed a little bit about it and then just forgot about it because that's just what you do when you get distracted with something else. And so the verse I want to share, because I couldn't find this one in my Bible, like translation wise, it says, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, this is the way, walk in it. And I feel like that is a good verse to go on because when I am feeling like God isn't there for me, and really he is, and he's calling from behind me saying, this is the way to go, I'm saying no. He tells me to do something and I say I don't really want to do that. And then I'm confused later of why the path isn't, I'm not on the straight path because, well, I already told God no, so I'm already turning the wrong direction and not going the right direction. And what I've realized is that God's going to take whether we do the right thing or the wrong thing, he's going to take it and use it for his will anyways. So really it's the decision whether you want to go the right way or the wrong way. It's not going to affect God's plan, and you're not going to be able to affect God's plan by what you do. It's just going to be your personal walk is going to be much worse than someone who was following the right way. And so I'm trying to jump on the right path and follow that way because this video was improvised because I've been feeling this way and I've been wanting to do everything on my own. And so I'm repositioning. And so there's another verse that I want to share. Okay, in Jeremiah 13, it says, "You will seek me and find me. When you seek me with all your heart, I will be found by you." I think that's important because, like it's saying, seek me with all your heart. So are you seeking God with all your heart, or are you seeking God with part of your heart? Because if you're seeking Him with part of your heart, you're not fully engaging in the relationship with God to where you're going to know the path. And so this is what I've found is that when walking our own paths, we realize or we feel like that, oh, this isn't going anywhere and God's not showing me the way. But really, are you giving God all your heart? Are you saying, hey, I'm legit giving you my plan? Because what I do is I'll sit and I'll pray with God and I'll be like, Lord, I'm giving you my life. Like, whatever it is that you want me to do, I will do it. I will do whatever it is you want me to do. And then I'll turn around and he'll tell me to do something. I'll be convicted of something and I'll be like, nah, I'm good. And then that's just how it is. And then I'm like, why are you not showing me the path? He's like, I've been showing you the path. You're just not paying attention. Like, you're telling me no. It's like a little kid, your parents tell you to do something and you're like, no. Okay, well, why are you going to get anything from me if you don't want to listen to me? That's just how it goes. And so I feel like I've been doing that a lot. And I don't know about you, but that's just me. He says something and I say no. And then I think it's just like when with God on the water, when he was walking on the water and he said, "Come out and walk on the water with him." Well, some of you'd walk out on the water and be like, "I can't walk on water like you. I'm not you, Jesus." And so, but he's calling him out and he's saying, "Look at me and you will not sink. Focus on me and you will not sink." And so I was thinking about that and I was like, I'm right now, before this video I started recording, I was on the path to sinking. I'm looking away from Jesus and I'm not paying attention. And so I start to sink. And then I think that this is where it goes when you're like not focusing on Jesus, you start to sink. And when we start to sink, it that's all that time. The sinking represents the amount of time that you did not focus on Jesus. So the amount of time that you didn't focus on Jesus, you're continuing to sink. And so if you get under the water and you start to drown, Jesus can still pull you up because no one is too far gone. But all that time you took to drown and not focus on Jesus is all that time that you missed out on. And that is the consequence. That is the natural consequence of not focusing on Jesus is when you're under the water and you can't breathe and you're calling out for help. And I think the worst possible thing that you can possibly do in this scenario is to drown and not know you're drowning, or to sink and not know you're sinking. Because if you don't know you're sinking, by the time you finally do call out to Jesus and say, "Hey, pull me out of the water because I am drowning," and I realize that, it's already going to be too late. You've already took this long to get into the water so far to where you're drowning that you've missed out on all this time and opportunity that God gave you to make the right decision. And so you didn't focus on Jesus, so now you're sinking, now you're drowning. There's still a choice for you to come out of that. But look at all the time you wasted. That doesn't mean that there's not further time, because if you're not dead yet, God's not done with you and he's not done with your story. But I just think about, if I keep letting myself sink and drowning, then I'm going to waste so much time. And how can I really unravel all the things that God wants me to do if I'm already under the water? And if I call out to God, well, I missed the opportunity to do the things He wanted me to do before. So whether I did those things or not, God's still going to use me. God still has a plan for me, but He could have used me in that way, and I chose to ignore Him. So if today you feel that way and you feel like you need to get on the right track, then I hope that you will share this video and like the video. This was an improvised video again. It's not scripted. None of my videos are scripted, or podcast episodes. So if you're on Apple Podcasts or any other streaming thing, type in a review or follow the show. Um, I hope that today, whatever season you're in, I pray that you would focus on Jesus and that you would ask Him to pull you out of the water, because we need not to sink too much time or any time at all. If you're sinking at all, it's already bad. Okay, you need to focus back on Jesus, and that's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to focus on focusing. But focus on focusing back on Jesus. And so I hope that you will do the same. And I pray that you would have a good rest of your day today, and God bless you. Have a great Sunday.
Now people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's a digging it. I reckon there's been many good men in the grave trying to keep our houses lit.